All right, here we go. So, truth, it is something like summer 2020, and I just wanted to ask you a question about minerals, about what, um, why somebody should be concerned about minerals, what minerals they should take, and if there's somebody with limited resources, how they should acquire those minerals, and even about mineralization in soil and organic food, about even though it says it's organic, maybe it's not grown in organic rich soils, stuff like that, and just about where somebody can source stuff from, like not having much resources to having some resources to like best bang for the buck and what's essential. All right.
Okay, well, first off, let's think about why do we need minerals? What are minerals? Why are they important? Why do we want them in our body? And then let's think about what the body is. David Job has a great quote that I'll never forget since his lecture in Air One in 2006. He calls the human body a wet cell battery. Okay, so what is life? It's in us. This is a deep subject that we've philosophized and scientized for ages. We know life, or chi, or metabolism, is electricity. Okay? And what is electricity? We know when someone dies, the chi of the electricity is gone. And the body weighs 12 ounces less in physical weight because the soul in that hollow cavity next to the breast, it leaves the body. Okay? And now there's no chi. The cell membrane, the 50 to 100 millivolts of chi of every cell being a battery with the cell membrane, it's gone. It's zero. The body weighs less. The mitochondria, everyone's talking about mitochondria and mitochondriacs, and we're not making any more ATP because metabolism, or life, or the second treasure in Taoist tonic herbalism, your chi, is gone. Okay? So when chi is, life is happening and we are alive, the body as a wet cell battery, because it's a sack of fluids, okay, in minerals, like our blood being similar to salt water. Like in the Civil War, when people needed quick and dirty blood transfusions, they would use coconut oil and chlorophyll. Coconut water, because the electrolytes are similar to blood. And for high quality mineral supplements, like what Rene Quinton took diseased children in, the 1800s. There's black and white photos in his book, and they're covered, little babies covered head to toe with psoriasis, red flaky skin infections, blood and pus coming out, and they cold sterilized, captured where the zooplankton meets the plant plankton, and there's these algae bloom vortexes where the cold water from the north of the ocean is reaching warmer water from the equator area, and the algae are feasting and blooming. And Rene Quinton would go in and capture the seawater around the algae while it's feeding and blooming, because there's an energy field, and there's information, and there's nutrients, there's biological material, there's minerals coming off. It's not just cheap salt water. And that's what's in these vials. I started taking this stuff in 2004 when no one else had it in America, because I had a blood diagnostic doctor who knew about it in LA. But these are the Quinton vials. Okay, so it tastes like salt water, but this is like what's protites, somatids, good bacteria. If you read Antoine Bouchamp's The Blood in the Third Element, you'll understand about pleomorphism and the primordial life forms, the somatids, the protites. In live blood cell analysis in dark field, they look like little pinpricks, like snow flickers that are going on and off in the frame of the field of dark field when you're looking at live blood. And when you take 4 of these opened up, you put it under your tongue and you hold it tight for 5-10 minutes. You can feel, some people feel it, just the minerals going into these energy glands that produce energy that we need, like the thyroid, the thymus, okay? And these minerals help Jing. And I've talked about zinc being a Jing mineral, iodine being a Jing mineral, indium being a Jing mineral. This is 100 Jing minerals from nature, from the source of all life being the ocean, the first organisms on life being algae, and that's where this sea plasma comes from. With biological material, it's like a mini mineral stem cell shot, or exosome shot in a way, because you're giving life back into the body. So this is one way to get trace minerals. We want structured good water, because the body is a wet cell battery. It needs water. We need hydration. We want structured water, like what we make here in the Vitalizer Plus. I take 400 TDS water from Arizona tap, which is high, and it goes through one RO filter, goes down to 5 TDS, and then it goes through zero water 5-stage gravity filters, it goes to 0.25 TDS, and then it goes into this twin vent distiller, okay, which is a really professional distiller, and it goes into Pyrex borosilicate lab glass, not cheap glass from China with lead in it. And now we have double RO single distilled water. It's laboratory grade water. It's the cleanest thing you can get. Then I put it in the Vitalizer Plus pitcher with a new cube, and we spin it for 18 minutes. Okay. And we make hexagonal 100% structured water, and we drink that to hydrate the body, but we need water and minerals to run a battery that's in the alkaline state, like a wet cell battery. You have a car battery, what do you have? You have electrolytes and you have water, distilled water and electrolytes. So we make distilled structured water, and we put the electrolytes into the body. We use humic acid.
Let's clear up one thing though. The dissolved solids.
The
dissolved solids that you're getting rid of. Some people think that mineral-rich water is good, and they're rocks, right? It's sand.
It's very confusing. So when we're measuring TDS, we're measuring total dissolved solids in ppm parts per million. So anything that can register as a particle, it could be a particle of a toxin or a heavy metal that you know you don't want. It could be minerals, and there's organic minerals, and there's inorganic minerals. And most of what we're cleaning out of the tap water, or even most people's spring water, is what's called inorganic minerals. They're little broken up tiny pieces of rocks. And if you keep drinking that, it's going to build up and make kidney stones. It's going to clog. It's not. But there may be some organic minerals. Now, when you take celery, you know, your produce you have in your juice, because you're like a raw vegan wild boar with all the you juice all that. It's raw plant food. That's organic minerals. That's the blood of the plant, the plant's roots. It knows how to take all those rocks out of the earth and make them biological, organic. So they work in the cell membrane. The body's got a tiny little cell factory, and membrane it needs the minerals in the right form.
So they're bioavailable to the body.
Yeah, it's
the
biological.
body doesn't absorb rocks.
The minerals that are in your vegetable juice, all the electrolytes, trace minerals, they don't form plaque. They don't form cataracts. They don't form kidney stones. They actually do the opposite. If you keep drinking tons of raw vegetable juice, they dissolve cataracts and plaque and kidney stones. And they help build up the minerals in the bones where we want minerals to be dense, okay? But when you drink bad, average, cheap-ass spring water, even Mountain Valley, I hate to say it, it's a good company, it's American spring water, and they boast their water has never touched plastic, and that's a good thing, but the TDS like 175, it's mostly calcium, and it's mostly inorganic calcium, not organic calcium like celery juice or cucumber. So that calcium is not good for you, and I have clients from drinking Mountain Valley glass spring water for decades, years, they got kidney stones. They're getting plaque from it. They have to stop all that calcium. Okay, so I strip the water to zero because I don't want the rocks. I don't want there's not enough organic minerals in it to make it worthwhile. There are exceptions. You can go to very special healing places, Lourdes of France, Shungite pools in Russia maybe, and the water has more organic minerals and less inorganic. Okay, and then that's a good thing. Or do your vegetable juices. Take this, and take a few other isolated minerals that I have here. But this is humate. This is humus. This is dinosaur compost. This is 80 million years old of ancient decayed plant and animal matter that is fermented underground, and it is turned into just an incredible untapped pool source. Humate or humus will become one of three things. It'll become coal, or it'll become oil, or it'll become humate, humus, which we can pull up out of the ground. We can filter this and we can put it into plants to grow because our minerals are gone from the topsoil. The body has a wet cell battery to support life and chi and the mitochondria and the thyroid and to function. You have to have structured distilled water, and you have to have electrolytes and minerals and trace minerals. Okay, but those are the main things for energy. And when people start taking 4 a day of these under the tongue and 1 ounce a day of this in a glass of water, and they start drinking 3 liters a day of distilled 18-minute hexagonal structured, 100% hexagonal structured water, it's life-changing. It's life-changing. You're not going to get it from the food. You get 4 minerals a day from your diet. And you need 60 minerals a day to have health, just to function. We want even more than 60, really, and we need these kinds of things to get it. Other cheap sources, pearl powder, rock flour, glacial milk, a high-quality coral calcium. Still has a lot of other good minerals, even though there's some more inorganic calcium in it as well. these things all work. We get the chemistry correct, we get the pH, we get alkaline, we get rid of the toxins, the cellular respiration works better, the energy, the oxygen works better, and you have strength, and you can live off water and minerals. You can get the minerals and just a little macronutrients and a little food, you know. And then chi, open the chakras, get the rights going, get the energy up. But humic acid, antiviral. So there's 80 different trace minerals, 70 million years old. They're very small, easily bioavailable. There's a whole bunch of vitamins in there. There's prebiotics, probiotics, and whole humate, humic acid. The very term to be human means we live off of food. We live on planet Earth. We live on the Earth. We're children of the Earth, okay? We're called humans because we eat food. We live on the terra, the land, the food being grown by humate, by humus, by humic acid, which is the compost of life from the past that makes the soil rich in order to make healthy food that we as humans can eat to have life to eat, to live, okay? So the garden of life, the soil, has to have a healthy microbiome to produce healthy food that we can eat to stay humans, to stay alive, to support life, okay? So just like everyone knows, I think, that's listening to your channel, about the microbiome, this garden down here called the abdominal brain, and how we want 80% probiotics and beneficial bacteria to be dominating over a few pathogens. That's why I make my super kraut recipe right here, which is lots of different probiotics and no salt, because that's a preservative antimicrobial. And this is so alive, when you eat it, you tingle all over. You can feel the probiotics working in the coconut yogurt, coconut water keepers, and we don't eat any sugar, carbs, or fruit. We don't want to feed any pathogens, get them down, get the probiotics high, and we can clean the gut of all the fecal plaque and all the parasites and infection, and get all the good bacteria, the serotonin up, and you sleep like a baby, and your skin glows, and depression goes away because you got the probiotics, the microbiome. And then you digest all your food, and you don't have gas or bloating, and you have perfect little stools like a baby, odorless floaters in the toilet, and all is well because of the microbiome, and you can live very long and healthy. Most people, it's death by the fork because they eat food that toxifies the colon, and they never know how to clean the colon and restore the microbiome. The colon can take a lot of abuse because it has an intestinal crypt at the bottom layer, produces stem cells that are organ specific to regenerate the colon lining. Every 4 days you have a new colon, new gut lining, regenerates that. But if you learn to eat for maximum colon health, it is a miracle what it does. You can never go back. It's so amazing what it does to your health. So that's the microbiome of the human being, an individual. Okay, but what about the microbiome of the earth? That's the plant, that's the soil that the food grows up in, okay? Natasha Campbell McBride, the author of the GAPS diet, she has a term that is wonderful. It's very in alignment with the Body Ecology Diet by Donna Gates, which is a huge foundation for my program. Okay, she's saying very similar powerful stuff. If you're interested in learning the body ecology stuff and its influence on microbiome, you should read this book too, know about her work. But she says the colon is doing one of two things. Okay, the colon is either producing nutrition for the body, or the colon is producing poison for the body. Most people's microbiome is so out of balance that their colon is producing poison. They are feeding so much infection, they are making so many biotoxins, they have no idea. Their colon is a source of putrefaction, poison, and toxin that's creating depression and autoimmune diseases and weight gain and constipation and allergies and sleep problems, and it just happens slowly because no one's educated how to eat and how to cleanse and how to maintain this wonderful microflora balance with the probiotics. Between the Body Ecology Diet and the GAPS diet, there is just so much information to learn. Now that's just the microbiome for a human, okay? But the human still has to eat food to have a whole, healthy, long human life, right? Where does the food come from? It comes from the planet, the mother, the earth. Well, that food has to grow on the earth. Just like probiotics have to grow in your colon so the colon can now be a source of nutrition, because your probiotics, when they grow in here at a high enough level, they produce all your vitamins. They do biological transmutation. They make your B vitamins, they make your B12, they make your serotonin. Okay, just like that happens in your gut, the earth has to have a healthy microbiome, healthy soil, so that it can produce food that is nutritious with soil-based organism probiotics on it and all the life. So the microbiome of the soil is really bad because the last 300 years, the industrial age, we have raped the top 3 feet of the topsoil. There's no minerals left. You can put it back by putting humic acid, humate, back into your garden, into your soil if you grow your own food, but not everybody can grow their own food yet. So they're buying food that is grown that's mineral deficient. So the term to be human, because we have to live on food from the microbiome of the earth in order to eat it, to have a life, to be human. We need humic acid back in the soil to bring all the nutrients, the life force, the microbiome, the probiotics, the prebiotics, which are in here, soil-based organism probiotics and prebiotics, are in humus, in humic acid. And it gives the life force. Now let's give you an analogy. What's a healthy microbiome of soil for the plant to grow food? What's a healthy one? What's an unhealthy one? An unhealthy one is, and a good example is the beach. If you go to the beach and you plant your plants in the sand, it won't grow, it'll die. Because it's just rocks, it's glass, silica. There's no humus, there's no humate, there's no soil, there's no earthworms, there's no microflora, there's no microbiome in the sand of the beach, so plants don't grow on the beach, okay? But let's go to a forest or mixed loam, healthy soil somewhere inland, okay, where you stick a shovel in the ground, you turn over a load of soil, and it's rich, it's dark, like this humate, it's kind of blackish, it's soft, there's bacteria everywhere, it's fluffy with the mixed loam of decaying plant matter, and there's earthworms, and there's mushroom mycelium strands growing in there, and there's ferns and plants and dandelion weeds growing like crazy out of that soil. That soil has a healthy microbiome. That soil can produce food that humans can eat to live on the earth and be called human. So humic acid is directly connected to the most important nutrient after oxygen, breathing oxygen. The next important food for life is humic acid in the soil to make that dark, rich, loam life force, the microbiome of the soil, to grow plants and food that animals and humans can eat. I mean, if we're going to eat animals to live, if you want to be a carnivore, we still need humic acid because the animals can't live and be healthy if they don't have food to eat that's been grown in a humic-rich earth. So we need to put this back in the soil. Meantime, we can put this in our bodies. And you know my Jing Legit product is a concentrated, pure humic acid. And I have a jar here, and
Yay.
I call it Jing Legit, American Shilajit. This is concentrated, pure black humic acid powder. Okay? And you can see how black that stuff is. I get my finger wet and see how this stuff spreads. It is very, very black, very strong. So you only need a 1/16 of a teaspoon of this in a glass of water, and it's like drinking a bottle of this at once. Okay.
And it's powerful. It'll change you.
Yeah, it's antiviral. It's a nootropic. It makes you smart. It makes you happy. The first time, I mean, some people are so deficient. The first time I have them take a concentrated humic powder, I'll have them go. If they try a 1/4 teaspoon, they don't feel it. Next day, try a 1/2 teaspoon in a tall glass of water and empty. They still don't feel it. I say, okay, just for a short term. I don't want to overdose, but a teaspoon. Max, I've gone up to a teaspoon and a half. When they do a teaspoon of this in a tall glass of water, and then wait a little while, drink some more water, life-changing. Humic acid immediately makes oxygen work through the body. Gives you all the trace minerals you need in the right biological state. They're organic minerals, not inorganic, like bad spring water or tap water. Okay. But we need hydration to bring those minerals into the wet cell battery. We need distilled water and minerals. So we drink double RO, single distilled, hexagonally structured water. When the water comes out of the distiller, I put it in a jug and I put it in the fridge and I let it chill for half a day so it's cold, cold, cold. Because the dark parts of the earth where the chasms are, where water moves around, cold water brings more life. It's like cryotherapy. You want cryogenic water. Okay, you want it cold. So I take the cold water out, then I put it in the plastic vitalizer pitcher. It won't react with plastic as much. And then I spin it 18 minutes. You can go 27, but 18 is good enough to get, even 9 will structure the water for the most part, it's pretty good. But if you want to feel the higher energy, go to 18. Cubes wear out a little bit, lasts shorter, but you have 4,000 minutes with this.
So you know what? My phone gave me 10% a while ago, so let's kind of wrap this up so it just doesn't cut.
Okay.
So cool. So you talked about the Jing Legit. I think the Jing Legit, somebody could spend $50 on that and make that last for 6 to 8 months, don't you think?
A year, yeah. I mean, you can go up to a teaspoon a day for a few days in a row, get an oxygen flush, feel the alkaline pH, feel all the minerals recharge. Your hair will never turn gray if you keep taking humic acid. You can get viral infections. It lowers viral infections, boosts the immune system. It chelates heavy metals, So fulvic acid is very popular. Fulvic is a component. Fulvic is in here. But there's more humic. To me, the humic acid is more important than the fulvic, but when you take humic, you get the fulvic too. So fulvic acid increases mineral uptake, removal, exchange in the cell. So you absorb nutrients faster and you excrete the inorganic minerals we don't want, the heavy metals and the rocks. Okay, but this is life, and we need it in the food. And this humic powder that I sell is pure, 100% water soluble. It's high grade. There's no heavy metals at all. And you can take tiny bits of it and dissolve it in the water that you use to water your plants or your garden. You can put it on your head after a shower to help your hair grow. But drinking a little bit is amazing. Most people are so deficient in the beginning. Try a loading dose course where you start with a 1/4 teaspoon to a glass of water. Do I feel it? No? Okay, do a 1/2 teaspoon the next day? Do I feel it? A lot of people will. That's enough. Some people are sensitive. A 1/4 teaspoon, they're bouncing off the walls. So a maintenance long-term dose is a 1/16 of a teaspoon for every day long-term. You would never take a 1/2 teaspoon to a whole teaspoon every single day. You can do that for a week, though. You can do it. Some people have done it for 2 weeks if they're really depleted, and then they taper down real quick and go to a low dose. Or if you stay on a high dose for a long time, you just go off the product for a month or up to 3 months because you've gotten so many minerals. It's very, very concentrated.
All right, we got to leave time to wrap up. So if somebody wanted to get a hold of that, would the best thing be for them to direct message me on Instagram and then me get a hold of you? Or
I don't know. I sell small amounts. I sell some to my personal
so you got to
consult
jump
clients. So
yeah,
people who
you got to jump through some hoops to get this. So you got to direct message me on Instagram. I'm
if someone
Damadou424.
introduces themselves well and I know how they found me and why they're interested in this product or something, or especially if it's someone I've ever done a consult with before, someone I recognize, then I have no, I go, oh yeah, great. They pound me $50 and I send it out free shipping, and you get a whole 8-ounce jar, like 200 grams. It can last some people 2 years, one bottle.
Yeah.
But you can use it for pets, you can use it for plants, you can use it for your garden. But it is really anti-aging. I mean, Donna Gates still has a full black head of hair. She's, 75 years old. And she said it's the probiotics from the microbiome, and it's the humic minerals. She's been taking these for a long time from another brand, but same stuff. Restore is a famous product. Some people were promoting very expensive, like $70 bottle for a quart of this, and it's isolated from humate, fulvic acid, with those 80, 70, 80, 90 trace minerals at very low doses that are occurring. But the thing is, people can take more than that. This product for a commercial humic mineral product is the strongest I can find. I've taken every humic acid product and tested it with a TDS meter diluted in water, compared with other pure humic acid capsule products. Every humic acid capsule powder, the other ones I put away, but I bought every one on the market. I tested the water solubility, how well it dissolves in water, becomes pure black water. This looks like black water. It's dinosaur compost. Okay, it did not become coal, it did not become oil, it became humate. This is the best compost in the world. You need it in your soil, you need it in your plants to grow them on. You need it in your body though, especially if you're not putting it in your garden because you don't grow your own food. You take it as a supplement. And it is good for the immune system, it is good for viruses, it does chelate heavy metals. And anything, so we're building up structured water distilled with minerals to recharge the wet cell battery to give us life. Electrolytes provide electricity. Life is electricity. Vitamins, the term comes from the word vital mineral. So minerals are more vital than vitamins. Our gut can produce vitamins, but our gut can't produce minerals. We have to take them in, we have to take in water.
Say goodbye, Truth.
Okay, goodbye.
See you later. Bye.